Hello everybody and welcome back to TNT. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. We are back with Edith Finch. I can talk, and I'm trying to find out what happened to this poor girl's poor mother. Spoiler alert, she probably died.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Religion.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Gee, I wonder what happened. She must have met her love of life. 3 months.
When my dad
nope,
died,
a day
I
after
don't
she
think
moved.
Mom knew where else to go.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. Probably back home. Hey, look, her name.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Nah, she's probably curious. Milton, Edith, Louis, mint, thyme, sage, basil. Hey guys, I think your flowers are not flowers. Your herbs are dying.
And
They want to come home and
again.
deal with that.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Mrs. Finch. Edith, Louis, Milton. So is she a school teacher for you guys? Are you homeschooled? If you said that already, I'm so sorry.
But it didn't last.
Nothing lasts. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, variety. K, P, C, O, F, G, S, V. I did it. I remember school. Not really. Actually, that was one of the domains of school that I really struggled with. Look at the family. Look at the fam. Dawn Finch. To teach and to learn. 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom. Your mother wrote a book. Ah!
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Gave him a castle? Oh. I don't like that.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Wait, was it Milton that disappeared, or was it Louis? Now I'm so confused, man. There's too many names. Gold leads the way. So your bro was a painter. And... Huh. He left behind golden footsteps. As if to guide you. I love this music, though. I hope you guys can hear it. That's so cool. What's this?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Abracadabra. Interesting.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So it's like he disappeared through a magic trick. Or that might be her interpretation because she never found out. Or never knew. Maybe they never found him. He likes painting in black, which is interesting. I do not know many people who prefer to just do black paintings. Interesting. Also, did I
Mom
skip?
spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Did I accidentally skip the mom's bit? Do I have to go back for it? I might have to go back for it. It's the same door from the book upstairs.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Did he find the family secret that you guys are all actually like assassins? I'm grasping at straws, guys. I'm gonna go back in here real quick just to see if I can find the mom's bit. Alright, I was unsuccessful in finding the mom's thing. It must be further on.
Mom blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Why would your mom blame your
After he graduated,
grandma?
he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Jeez. Like, it's cool, but it's also like, should I be up here? I'm pregnant. I mean, not me. The character's pregnant. I don't, like, I'm not. Anyway. Okay. I go in. And that's a hookah.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
And that stink just never, ever, ever, ever left.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
He died a lot. Nice wording. Dawn Finch. Why is your mom's name on a piece of paper for you?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh, God.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
To what? To go elsewhere? Like what?
wander.
Ah, there it is. Oof.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Oh,
He'd feel
okay.
his way about. Then something moved. Bats and
Batman.
toads.
All mimsy where the boro grows, and the mome brass outgrabe.
And things that have not names.
Oh. The Jabberwock?
He knew it was all in his head.
It's hard to do this at the same time. Ugh.
I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Oh, look at this. Am I
worried
playing
about
Diablo?
him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
Oh, that's good.
Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
After what? After the drugs?
So I let him go on. I even
Oh
encouraged
boy.
him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis.
Lewistopia.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that
Literally.
all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
True.
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
This is so hard to do.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis. Perfect.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
This imaginary world was
he
better.
heard rumors of a
Why not? Beautiful prince.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for
Radiant rainbows, because I love rainbows.
radiant rainbows.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, I missed one. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. I got one. I got two.
He followed the sound of his
I got three. Silver harp.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
He's gonna chop his hand off, isn't he?
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Yeah.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
It's the first time we're actually seeing a person in this game, I
He
think.
began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, buddy. Oh, bud. Hey. Hey. Ugh, he's not even listening. Not even there.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
The cat named Molly.
His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Into the guillotine.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
It really does not seem to matter how many of these stories I listen to. It's hard every time.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Oh,
waited
she was
until
done.
the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
God, you are up so high.
I wish we'd stayed.
Yeah. Packing peanuts.
But I understand why we left.
Edith and Mom. Honey. It's like they were living sort of like an RV kind of life.
My mom ended
Sort
up
of.
leaving everything behind.
That light is still on. Several lights are still on. Sanjay was a disaster relief guy.
I've been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
It's your room. Very, very
But
top,
it had
huh?
to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
So she goes all the way back to her childhood
last
bedroom
day,
to tell the story.
Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
The history of the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Nah, man, you're good. Just keep walking forward.
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
She was gone. Yep.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Well, that was emotional. I did not expect it to end so suddenly, but there it is. I guess the reason that we never found the moms was because she didn't actually pass by the time that Edie passed. And Edie was the one that was memorializing all the previous deaths and like making the wood panel thing with their picture and making kind of a you know what I'm talking about. Like she was the one doing all that throughout every single house, and the mom sealed it up and yada yada. So since Edie died before Dawn died, there was no memorial to Dawn. That's why we never found it. So what was the curse then? Is it just that there's rotten luck in the family? The theme that I keep finding is that it kept leaving one sibling alive. That it never just completely wiped out the entire generational layer to the family. It killed two but left one, or killed one but left one, or what have you. Maybe that's it. Still not sure. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday-based ride of a game. I was wanting a bit of a low-key, little story-based game for Saturdays, because I've been playing a lot of horror lately. So, I'm going to try something else, I think, after this. Something more stimulating. If you have any ideas for what I should play, or for what Trevor should play, comment below, subscribe for more videos, and drop a like to let me know if you like this. Or a dislike if you didn't like it. But I hope you liked it. I mean, that's my preference. Anyway, Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good night. And I will see you next time.